Welcome to Inside the Lions Den. I'm LaRon Marley. We'll take a look inside UAPB Athletics. And on today's show, of course, we'll have head football coach Alonzo Hampton. We'll talk with the Executive Senior Athletic Director for Compliance and Student Athletic Services in Mr. Broderick Tucker, and the Deputy Athletics Director, head golf coach, Coach Roger Titan. All on today's show, Inside the Lions Den. Now let's go inside the Lions Den with head coach Alonzo Hampton. What's going on, Coach?
How you doing, my man?
Doing well, man. Glad to have you back once again. And Coach, as the season winds down, had a tough loss last week against Grambling State, Friday night game. But although we did lose the ball game, again, another opportunity for the UAPB team to get some exposure nationwide.
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, it was a good opportunity for us to showcase our university, showcase our athletic department. And we started out well, showed people what we could become. And we just kind of fizzled out down in the fourth quarter, so that was disappointing. But again, as many opportunities we've had to showcase our university, I think it's always going to be a positive. You know, obviously Friday nights are playoff football, but again, we had a nice crowd. I looked up there, and it was loud. You could hear people talking, so it was pretty cool.
Absolutely, Coach. And again, you talked about it started a little differently. Typically, we have the past few weeks, we start off a little bit slowly. This week, man, took the first drive down the field, big run by Johnny Williams, which what I say is it's a glimpse into the future. Yeah. Big run by him, 50-yard rush, was able to score on that first drive, Coach. And typically the offense starts off slow, but you know, Friday night they were on a run, especially on that first drive.
Yeah. You know, obviously, what I wanted to do is we won the toss. I told the kids we were going to take the football. And if we win the toss this week, we're going to take the football again.
Good.
Because we've kind of been slow in starting, but just kind of wanted to let the kids know during the week, this is how we're going to do it. Okay. And so they went out there on that first drive, man, called some really good plays. Guys blocked it up. And, man, we just went right down the field on them. And so we were excited about that. And then we had a chance to, you know, kick the ball off. We got another stop. And we get the ball back, and then we had a 3rd down and 10, and we had a great play call on the screen, and we came up 1 yard short. We had to punt the ball, and then we missed a tackle in a 2nd down play and on the screen, and the guy goes for 60 yards. It's kind of frustrating, but you know that's part of the game, and we just got to continue to learn from those kind of mistakes and keep pushing forward.
Absolutely, Coach. And again, that's one of those little plays that where you can go either way with the teams in favor or momentum. Yeah. And got away from us just a little bit there. But again, you got to give kudos to your offense starting out, getting that opening drive, opening scoring drive. Again, missed that first down by 1 yard. Yeah. They always said, the old saying goes, it's a game of inches, Coach.
It's a game of inches, and obviously, you know, I give a lot of credit to, you know, Coach Wallace. Coach Acosta's been out for the last 2 weeks. He'll be out again. And so he's doing a good job with the run game. And we just need to shore up our passing game a little bit. Quarterbacks need to throw the ball where they taught to throw the ball. And then that gives them more opportunities to stay on the field. Because we got a lot of good things in place, but we're just making too many mistakes at critical times, making critical errors that's shooting ourselves in the foot.
And, Coach, that goes along with what we've been talking about the past few weeks, actually learning how to win and learning how to come out on the top end of those type of situations. And speaking of quarterback, you decided to go with Makai Higgins with the start. What went into that decision, Coach?
Well, obviously Makai is a kid that he has a strong arm. He can run. I mean, in this league, if you don't have a quarterback that can run, you're going to be in trouble. Very few quarterbacks in this league don't run well. Right. And obviously we're trying to get him to the point where he understands the offense inside and outside. But it goes back to us as coaches, too. We got to understand the kid. Mm-hmm. We need to understand what the kid can do inside and out, what he's good at, what he's not good at. And so I think last week we did a better job of just letting him, you know, do the things that he can do. Obviously, he can get out of the pocket. He has a good arm. And he missed 2 touchdown passes. And so we just got to make sure we get that shored up, give ourselves a chance coming up this week.
And, Coach, with Coach Acosta being out, who is kind of taking over the play calling duties?
Well, Coach Wallace has been doing a good job. He's our O-line coach, and so I gave him the opportunity to do it. He works hard. You know, I tell people he's inexperienced, but the only way you get experience is somebody give you opportunity. Right. And nobody works as hard as he does. first one in the office, probably one of the last ones to leave. And so I thought it was a good opportunity for him. And he's done some good things in the run game for us, and he has a really good idea of how to do the run. As I told him, man, it's kind of like me, a first-year coach. You just need to learn a little more on the passing game, but we'll keep putting it together. And like I said, we got one more opportunity to come out, get us a W.
Right, on the road this weekend in Texas Southern. And Coach, offensive line coach, I mean, you can expect to run. He's an line coach, so you know he's going to want to run that football. But he's done a great job. And Coach, right there in the ball game, going into halftime, gave up that safety, ended up being 15-7. But again, going into halftime, right in that ball game, now the last few weeks, the last couple weeks, we've done better in the second half. Versus this week, we held in and stayed right in the ball game in that first half. So going into halftime, what was kind of your message to the team?
Well, obviously, the safety, it didn't hurt us, but it shouldn't have been a safety. The ball went right through the punter's hands. I mean, it was a little high, but at the end of the day, he should have caught the ball. Okay. And that would have been 13-7. But at halftime, I told him just that. Like, we're going to go out and get a stop. That's exactly what I said to him. We're going to go out and get a stop. You guys are going to take the ball on offense. We need to go down and score. And we did exactly what we said we would do. We went 3 and out. They punted the ball to us. Offense get the ball. And, man, we had a couple, plays that we didn't get as much as we wanted to. We ended up punting the ball back to them. And then they take the drive. We get a guy out of his gap trying to do too much. They hit us on like a 20-yard run. And then the next play, they call another run. We had another guy doing what he wasn't supposed to do, and the guy cuts it all the way back across the field. And now the score is 22-7 with like 8 minutes in the third quarter. And so, just try to settle everybody down.
Right.
And very unfortunate. We get the ball, and Mekhi throws the interception. And the guy's running with the ball, and the ball goes through the end zone. It's a touchback. They call it a touchback on the field.
Yes, I was there for that play.
It goes through the end zone. It's our ball. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard. We're lined up to run a play. And the replay official buzzes down, and they review it, and they give the ball to Grambling on the 8-yard line. They missed it.
They did.
I mean, there ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And the guy, I emailed him and texted him, me and the AD, and the guy says, Coach, well, it was his judgment call. Well, it ain't a judgment call. Here's the play. I sent it to you. The ball's through the end zone. The guy was on the field. He told you what it was, and you overruled him. So, I mean, and they got that score to make it 29-7.
Right.
But then we came back and scored. Those are the things that's just kind of, frustrating. But that's part of life. Yeah. We should have made the stop because we had a 3rd and 4. We got the perfect call. The DB's right there to make the play. Should have picked the ball off, and the guy just takes the ball from him. So, but neither here or there. Guys kept battling back. We could have easily quit. And we scored to make it 29-14. And we get 2 stops in a row to get back to a 1-possession game. And scores 29-14, 6 minutes in the game. And instead of throwing the ball away, we throw the ball right to them. And so those are the kind of things. They scored 2 touchdowns within like 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. Right. And so that's frustrating as a coach because they're not 25 points better than us.
Absolutely. So, and again, looking at that score is not indicative of how the game went. And again, those few plays, and I know, Coach, I know you don't harp on it, but I know that has to be frustrating when you're already trying to get your guys to do what you need them to do, and then you're having to battle the officials as well, because they did absolutely miss that call. I mean, looking at it over and over, I watched the play over and over again, and it was exactly, and it was funny because it was exactly what they called on the field was correct. And it was changed. So.
I've never saw that. I mean, I've never seen that a referee on the field calls it correctly, and they give us the ball, and then they buzz down as we're in an offensive formation to tell him that he's incorrect. Well, bro, that's why you're a replay official. Like, you got the best seat in the house.
Right.
And so, but again, we can't put ourselves in that situation. The receiver ran the wrong route, and Mekhi threw the ball, and they picked it off.
Right. So. But again, tremendous effort to go down and knock that ball loose, not giving up on the play. And again, not giving up in that third quarter. As you mentioned, we scored and made it a 1-score or 2-score game late in the ball game.
29-14, 15
right, but still in the game. So again, that shows the character of the team, though. They've done that all season long, despite the scoreboard, what's on the score. They fought until the very end, and you definitely have to be proud of that.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I just, like I told the kids, We took a couple kids to church yesterday, and the pastor was talking about adversity. Adversity reveals character, and nobody likes to lose. But I can tell you this, it's going to be a lot of lessons in life that you got to go through in order to get to the good stuff. And as I tell people, it's kind of like what you're going to do when the storm comes. Are you going to pull over on the side of the road, or are you going to keep driving through the storm? I've been driving through the storm my whole life. And so I tell the players, we're going to wake up every day. We're going to keep driving through the storm. And if you keep driving, eventually the sun's going to come out.
That's right.
And so I'm just crazy enough to believe that the sun is just right around the corner.
Absolutely. You have to go through the storms to see that brighter side, man. So,
yeah.
And we're on our way through it, Coach. But again, a tremendous effort from the guys, and we're heading to our final game of the regular season. We'll be on the road at Texas Southern, heading back down to the Houston area. But getting in that ball game, Coach, was able to put up some decent numbers individually. Of course, we had pretty good run game, had over 100 yards.
Yeah.
You definitely want to see that week in and week out. If you can get over 100 yards, then you can be competitive in most games offensively. And a couple of individuals, Johnny Williams, I've been very impressed with this young man. Had nearly 100 yards rushing on 15 carries. And again, looking at him, he had that big play on the first drive, man. You can kind of get a glimpse into the future.
Well, I don't know why everybody keeps saying glimpse into the future. Johnny's a senior.
Okay.
So
well, they have him listed
I think,
somewhere.
I
Okay.
think they got him listed as a sophomore. Johnny's out the door.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Johnny,
wow.
The reason Johnny has not been playing, Johnny don't practice as hard as Johnny needs to practice.
Okay.
And so I wasn't going to reward Johnny for bad practice habits.
Right, of course.
And so when Jonez went down, I said, Johnny, we were going home. He's from Houston. I said, bro, I'm going to play you this week. I said, you need to show me something. And so we took him home to Prairie View. He had a good game.
Right.
And so he earned the right to start last week. He's earned the right to start again. But Johnny's a senior. He's graduating in December. And Johnny is a very intelligent young man. He's going to do great things in life. But
absolutely.
We joke with him all the time because he says he's like a Ferrari that's been beat up. So he's only got about 7, 8 more carries in him.
That is hilarious. But I'm glad you cleared that up, Coach. But he's definitely done a great job
yes.
when he's given the opportunity. And, man, we definitely wish him well. But
yeah.
Glimpses to the future, I mean, we've seen several backs do it.
Yep.
And our, up front, the guys, you know, they've had some struggles this year, but they've also done some great things as well.
Well, I mean, and I say this, O-line and D-line is the hardest position to recruit. It's the hardest position to play because you got to run into somebody every time.
Every play.
And we got some really good defensive football players in this conference. And we've had it, you know, when we lost your best player last year, the running back that left, I think he's leading. He's probably like one of the top 10, 15 in the country in FCS football. That kid was a really good player. So he made a lot of those guys look better than probably they should have been. And so now they're fighting hard, but we've been overmatched at times. And so we just got to continue to put them in the best situation possible so they can help us move the football. In the last couple games, they've done some good things. So I'm proud of them for that.
Absolutely, Coach. As we head down the road to the final game of the regular season, on the road in the Houston area once again to take on Texas Southern for this last ball game. And we'll talk more about it when we return on Inside the Lions Den with head coach Alonzo Hampton. We'll be right back.
The ideal cut round diamond was developed to release the maximum amount of brilliance in a diamond. That was 100 years ago. The future is fire polish, and you have to see it to believe it.
The future is dazzling.
Nanotechnology creates an explosion of fire that's over 300 times more brilliant.
Dad, this is the future.
Come see the future for yourself at Sissy's Log Cabin.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Life-changing flavor.
1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Inside the Lions Den, I'm Laurent Marbury here with head football coach Alonzo Hampton. And coach, winding down the season, headed for the last game of the season in Houston, Texas against Texas Southern University, a team that fared pretty well last week, did a little bit unexpectedly. But first, coach, now when we start winning all these SWAC championships and national championships, no one will be able to say we didn't take our bumps and bruises. It's been a tough season this year, coach, and I just love your whole attitude about it, man. You've never wavered. You've always showed positivity. You've always been upbeat every time you come in on the show, and every time I see you, you're excited about the future. Going into this last ball game, coach, how important is it to finish strong?
Well, what you want the kids to understand is this. You got to go out and fight. And we always ask the question, will you fight or will you quit? Because at the end of the day, it's football, right? Nobody has to tell me to go out and compete. I like competing. And the more guys that you recruit that like to compete, the more chances you're going to have to win. So most of these guys have never put this uniform or a uniform period again. Like, this is your last opportunity to ever put on a helmet and shoulder pads. Right. So let's go out and give your absolute best. And if we got to carry you off the field, you know, quote unquote, we joke about that, we'll carry you off the field, but leave it all out there. And so they fought hard all year. And so I don't think it'll be any different this last game. You know, we'll travel down on Friday morning about 5 a.m. and get there, get to the hotel about 1 o'clock, get off and get us something to eat. And then just get rested up. I mean, it's their senior night, okay? Or senior day. And so it'll be a nice crowd. And man, they're a really good football team. I don't know how they've only won 3 games, but obviously you saw what they just did. The tailback is the all-time leading rusher in the history of the program. He had over 200 yards against Alcorn. They held their running back to like less than 100 yards. They beat them 44-10. Alcorn had everything to play for, and Texas Southern had nothing to play for. But what they did is they played for each other. And so that's what I told our kids, and I said it on the media call today. I hope our kids put the perfect game plan together, offense, defense, and special teams, and go out there and let's win one for the Gipper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I don't know how those guys feel, but I love playing the spoiler, man. Everybody, their homecomings or their senior days, you know, everybody got their family there and stuff. Well, we want to send them home a little upset after the ball game. Yeah. So, but again, and you said it, Coach, you want the type of guys that want to compete. And that's that old school mentality, man. Hey, leave it all on the field, literally. I mean, you want to put the last ball game of the season, you want to put every inch of your energy into that ball game. I mean, where you're, like you said, almost having to be carried off the football field. And especially if you're a senior, as you said, this might be your last hurrah, and you might not have another opportunity to pad it up and get on that gridiron.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you can't. First of all, only so many people get a chance to play college football. Right. And you get a chance to play for the black and gold. Yes, and these people have treated you really well. We feed you, okay? We got nice uniforms for you this year. You've had a chance to stay a couple nights in Houston. I mean, so we're doing a lot of good things. So it's time for us to reward the people that have given back to us. The administration, the alumni, our fans, people that have came, sit in the rain, sit in the cold on Friday. Like, it's time for us to give back. And when I say give back, like, lock into the moment. Like, what's important now? I keep telling them, like, win, win, win. What's important now? A lot of people have a lot of things on their mind that kind of confuses them. Like, during the day, when you get to this football building, this should be all about football for 2.5 hours. During the day, you shouldn't be thinking about football. You should be thinking about what I got to do in class, okay? What assignments I got to get done. Man, we got all kind of academic stuff that we putting on them, and that's life.
Right.
But that's what it's all about. And so when you get to the football facility, let's just lock in for 2.5 hours. We only get so many hours a week. We only get 20 hours, and we're trying to max out on that. So it'll be very exciting. Man, you know, on Friday night, you can look in the kids' eyes because now they see it. Like, Coach, I only got one more opportunity. Coach, are we going to wear the yellow jersey? No, you're not wearing the yellow jersey. Not wearing them again. You won't wear them again. Somebody else will. So it's not about the jersey. It's about the person. What are you doing when you put that UAPB across the front? Like the name on the back. Like that is your family legacy. What are you going to do? And somebody, a good friend of mine, sent me a text. He does before every game. And he talk about what they need to do and what it means to be a roaring lion. If they had the spirit of this young fella, and he ain't young, but he's young in spirit. If they had his spirit, then we would never lose a game because he absolutely loved the Golden Lions. And a lot of times I tell him some of these stories when he email them or he texts them to me because I can feel his passion through the text message, like what this program means to him. And he's gonna show up rain, sleet, or snow. And that's what it's all about. And we gotta get players that's gonna show up rain, sleet, or snow.
Absolutely, Coach, and they need to realize that they do have tremendous support around this area in our community, and we definitely wish. And you know, even though we've come up short in some of the ball games, they have made us proud though, because well, me personally, just the fight to show. Like you said, and we've said it this season, sometimes we've been overmatched, and those guys continue to fight throughout the entire ball game. And again, when you see those late scores, when those guys could just give up. I mean, the game is almost out of hand, but they still fight. So we're definitely very proud of them for that, and that shows the character and the spirit of a Golden Lion.
Well, you know, we talk about restoring the pride. That was my motto. It's going to be my motto until we restore the pride. Like when you're restoring something, like you got to get down there and you got to dig out a lot of stuff. As the pastor talked about in church, sometimes you got to go through the ground. You got to be sifted out. So we're sifting out all the bad stuff that has been accumulated for 3 to 4 years in these guys. And we got to be able to make them fine-tuned. We got to get all the impurities out of them. And when they come out, they need to be as pure as gold. And so that's what we're trying to get to. We talk about the gold standard. It's a lot of great things going on at this university in all the different sports. You got golf, you got women's basketball, men's golf ball, you got our track, you got volleyball, you got softball. And like, I feel the energy. That's why I wanted the job. That's why I prayed for this job. Like, I'm not discouraged. Like, that's why I keep smiling. That's why I'm excited, because I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be hard work. I came to restore the pride. And so that's not going to change me. It's not going to change my outcome. 1 loss, 9 losses, it doesn't change my vision. It doesn't change the vision that God gave me. And until he says different, I'm going to keep believing it.
Absolutely. We keep believing in you, Coach. So we definitely appreciate the job you've done thus far. And the vision, man, we have that same vision with you, Coach, and we're going to ride with you to the end. Now, winding down this season, of course, recruitment is always a big thing. You guys have been doing it all semester long. And of course, it changes a little bit after the last game because you can focus, put more of your focus on recruiting. What are some of the plans you guys have heading forward in recruiting?
Again, everywhere I've been, and I tell people this, the number one thing is recruiting. And I'll say it again. The day you stop recruiting is the day you start to look bad, okay? And that's what has happened over the years here. We haven't done a good job of recruiting. If you don't brush your teeth are not gonna look good. And so recruiting is like brushing your teeth. And when you stop doing it, you're not gonna look good. Your smile's not gonna be as bright. Nobody's gonna wanna come visit you. So what we've done is we haven't done a good job recruiting. So what we do is every morning from 8 to 9 is all recruiting. And I remember when I first came here, they wouldn't let me do much, but they would let me recruit. And so I would get on the phone and call every high school coach in my area, and I would take down every single name. And that's the good part for me is being here. I understand how hard it is, but you have to get ahead. How can you get ahead? We may not have all the finances to be able to get in a car and go out and visit every school, okay? But you can make every phone call, and you can it's a lot of good players throughout Southeast Arkansas, throughout Tennessee, throughout Louisiana, Texas. I mean, we're right here, Missouri, it's right there. So we gotta do our due diligence and reach out to these coaches, and we're gonna be recruiting from the time we get off that bus on Sunday until December 15th, whenever signing day is. And as I told AD, we had a meeting today, and Like, we got to be able to sign about 15 to 20 kids. And that's on us as coaches. And I told them, like, if you can't recruit, you're not going to be on the staff.
Right.
And every really good coach I've been around, that was always the motto. Okay? If you can't recruit, then why do I need you here?
Right.
Like, and don't tell me that nobody wants to come to Pine Bluff. It's a lot of people that want to come to Pine Bluff.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of places that are worse than Pine Bluff. I can promise you that.
Yes, sir.
And some of these kids are begging to get here. And we got to do our job and reach out to these kids and get the kids that want to be here. And I'm talking about the kids that want to change the program. And yeah, we can't recruit every kid in the state of Arkansas. Because some of those kids, I'll be honest, they can't play here. And then you're going to be mad at me when I take them, and then they're going to be sitting on the sideline, and somebody going to be in the stands mad. Right? I want the ones that everybody else want. I want the ones that UCA want. I want the ones that Arkansas State want. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones I want that can make a difference in our program. So we're going to be recruiting 24/7.
And Coach, with the transfer portal and you talking about kids coming from different colleges, is that approach any different when you recruiting those type of guys?
No, I think what happens now in the portal, you got to sell a kid on your vision, okay? So just say if I needed X amount of offensive linemen. So he may be also getting recruited by another school in this conference. Well, guess what? They got 4 old linemen coming back. Well, we're going to lose 4.
Okay.
So if you come over here, you know from day one that you're going to be the first one out there.
Right.
It's your job to lose. You go there, you may be sitting behind a guy.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So for every position, that's where we're selling. You got an opportunity to come here. We got 17 seniors that are walking out the door. So that means it's a lot of opportunities for guys to come here and have an opportunity to play right away. And then my thing is, FAMU is the top team in the conference right now. It was Jackson State to Deion left. And now, I mean, they're still doing a good job recruiting, but like they're stacking players. And so I tell them, you can go over there and get stacked and get behind somebody, or you can come get to the front of the line.
That's right.
I always been a front of the line kind of guy.
Yes, sir.
Like, I don't mind competing. I love competing. But I'm smart enough to realize if they got 3 guys in my position and he don't have but 2 over here, I'm going over here.
Right.
So I'm be one step ahead.
Absolutely, Coach. Absolutely, and that's a great point. And lastly, Coach, is it very important to get the guys in for the spring semester? I know you signed a lot of junior college and transfers. They can come in right away and be there for the spring. Is that very important moving forward?
It is for us this year because we're going to lose a lot of guys. So, I mean, ideally, man, I would like to be able to sign between 12 and 15 guys. But that's a lot of work on a lot of people's parts, from administration, from our compliance to our student success center. Like, we got to get these transcripts in. We got to get them evaluated. Now we got to send them over cross campus. They got to say, would this class count? Would this class not count? And so it isn't as easy as it may seem, because I'm not saying I was under the impression, because I was the academic liaison when I was here before.
Okay.
And I know like what classes should count, okay, towards a degree. And obviously we're doing a better job now. I think we're all got enough eyes on it that we understand, like, when these kids got AA degrees, that means they already got a degree in hand.
Right.
They got to be able to get in here somewhere, right? Let's get them in and we'll figure out later where they need to go. But, so those are some challenges that we've had. But I think everybody's on the same page moving forward, because if not, we're going to continue to fall farther behind. And it's nobody in Southeast Arkansas wants to see the Golden Lions fall behind. The basketball is doing great. Women's basketball. Coach Totten has set the bar so high, I don't know if I'll ever catch him, but I'm trying on a daily basis. And Coach Bozeman, he got so much energy. It's so much stuff going on around here. Like, we need our football program to step up to the plate year in and year out and be a lighthouse for the city of Pine Bluff, like the golf team doing, women basketball. They're recruiting really good, and that's what it's about.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, definitely looking forward, and I'm definitely excited about it. Definitely want to wish you luck in recruiting and this week against Texas Southern, my man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate you. Head coach Alonzo Hampton of the UAPB Golden Lions football squad. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll talk to Executive Senior Athletic Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Services here on Inside the Lions Den. We'll be right back.
Every bite better with Pepsi. think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
The Dutch.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Dear Adidas, we believe that through sport, we have the power to change lives.
A female coaching me. Is anybody watching female sports?
But female athletes are being left behind.
We have the power to make a new world for female athletes. So come together, fight for equality, and level the field to ensure that no matter the challenge ahead, she breaks barriers.
Because of you, we feel like we belong. Because of you, my family's happy and stronger.
Because of you, we have a safe place from bullying.
Because of you, I have a place to hang my art.
Because of you, graduation is within reach.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place for their future. Because of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Athletics Department, we are not only able to open doors, but transform lives. Great futures start here.
Welcome back to Inside the Lions Den. I'm LaRon Marbley, and joining me now, we have the Executive Senior Associate Athletic Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Services. Mouthful, I got it out.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Broderick Tucker, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. And one of the new things that we've been faced with here in the last couple of years, where the student athletes have the opportunity to benefit from their likeness and images and things, is called the NIL, and yes. You actually work directly with it. Well, first, let's start here. What exactly does it mean to be the Executive Senior Associate Athletic Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Services?
So what that means is I'm over all compliance with the NCAA and SWAC regulations. I am over the Student Athlete Academic Services Department, which basically ensures that the students are matriculating on time, are eligible, and hopefully are getting internships and a job opportunity once they walk across that stage. I also conduct the NI Lions program, which we started 2 years ago in 2021 on my arrival at UAPB. And I'm also over diversity, equity, and inclusion within the department.
Okay, well, you don't do many jobs out there.
Yeah. I have several hats. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about the NI Lions program here in just a moment. But for the audience out there, first, explain what actually NIL actually is.
NIL is name, image, and likeness. This has opened the door for student athletes to earn money using their own name, image, likeness. For a long time, that was restricted. So within the last 3 years, the NCAA has opened that door for students to start making more funds using their own name, image, or likeness.
Absolutely, and I can remember back in the days, back even in my playing days, but it was the O'Bannon brothers who played for UCLA. They were one of the first people to say something about it, because I remember back in the day they had a college video game, college basketball and football video game, and they didn't use the kids' names, but they would say a guard, number 6, but they had all the information, where they were from, their height and weight. Everything was using the likeness and image of those athletes, but they couldn't benefit from it.
Yes, this has been an ongoing struggle for student athletes for at least 20 or 30 years now. So They have been pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally the student athletes had a small win with name, image, likeness. The original argument was for wealth distribution. That did not go. That was
pan out, huh?
Yes, it did not pan out at all. But this is a really big win for student athletes all around the country.
Now, what is wealth distribution? What does that mean?
Well, basically, when you have some departments making anywhere from $100 to $200 million a year, right? Power 5 especially, student athletes, the original argument was, let's share some of those funds. At this point, they're not sharing revenue, but they've opened up the door for businesses and alumnus to support student athletes individually.
Absolutely, because back in the day, that would get you suspended, get your eligibility taken, and things like that. And we've seen several examples. One that comes to mind was Reggie Bush. And I remember he had his Heisman taken from him because of that type of thing. But I think it's a great thing, name, image, and likeness, for these athletes to be able to capitalize where the schools and different companies have been capitalizing on these athletes for decades.
They have. A lot of student athletes, they have a big brand outside of the institution they participate with. So this gives student athletes an opportunity to build their individual brand and their individual business.
Absolutely. And of course, dealing with it and moving forward for our particular student athletes, I know a lot of times it's hard to do things on your own, so you have collaborations and partnerships with different companies and different organizations. And the athletic department have NIL companies already ready to work with our student athletes. Talk a little bit about that.
We do. We started a partnership with No Cap Sports roughly 2 years ago. This gives our student athletes the opportunity to sign up for a account. They have No Cap Sports has hundreds, if not thousands, of businesses already signed up with No Cap Sports. So every single student athlete has a score based off of their following, their followings on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and the big one, Twitter as well. So based off of those scores that each student athlete has, a business can go through the list of student athletes that have signed up and choose whoever they want to represent or brand their company or their business. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a great opportunity for both the business and the student athletes.
It is. It's a great opportunity for businesses, especially small businesses that don't have a big budget for marketing.
Right, absolutely. And with that being said, what are some of the opportunities with NIL for our student athletes?
Well, currently the biggest opportunity right now is our partnership with Influxer Merchandise. So at this time, alumnus, fans, family, any of our supporters, they can go to influxmerch.com, go to schools, choose the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, click a sport, and we have over 70 student athletes that have signed up with Influxer, and they're actively making money now by selling their merchandise.
Absolutely, well, that's great.
Yeah, and another big opportunity for our student athletes currently is the Adidas Ambassadorship Program. That way, our students as well can sign up with Adidas. They can help market Adidas merchandise and then earn income from their marketing.
Oh, that is fantastic. And with that, already in a partnership with Adidas, of course, they provide our gear and things like that. So that's great. That is great, going right in line with it. And of course, I know they have to have some kind of rules and restrictions. Can student athletes go out and get their own NILs, or does it have to come through the school? How does that work?
So all student athletes, they have to disclose any earnings they make through the compliance office. They do this using an online disclosure form that we have. Although they have to disclose it, we're just checking for a few things. We're making sure students are not creating deals or signing contracts with casinos, anything dealing with gambling, the adult industry, pharmaceuticals, drugs, guns or ammunition. Within the state of Arkansas, we have our laws on name, image, likeness, every single state has a different set of laws with name, image, likeness, as well as the NCAA. So they have their laws at the NCAA as well as individual state laws. So for instance, if a young man signs a deal with UAPB and then transfers to another SWAC institution, that deal will end, and he or she would have to have a deal with the new institution and hopefully another company as well.
Okay, because it's a little different, I guess, like you said, in different states, different. I've seen in Power Fives, and what comes to mind is Travis Hunter.
Yes.
He signed his deal with, when he committed to Florida State, but his deal actually traveled with him when he went to Jackson State with Deion, and as well as Colorado. So, like you said, the rules are different for different places.
The rules are different. The rules are different. Yes,
absolutely. Sir. Now, explain how does having NIL deals for student athletes help with recruiting?
Oh, it's a big help. We have been trying to push all of our deals out that student athletes are earning, so prospective student athletes know when they come to UAPB, they are in the running for a NIL deal. Even my team, we did a comparison with the institutions in the state of Arkansas. Outside of Fayetteville, UAPB is probably getting more name, image, likeness deals than any other institution in the state besides Fayetteville.
Yeah. Okay.
A-State may be running right behind us, but our student athletes, they prosper a lot in that realm, name, image, likeness.
Absolutely, and that is fantastic to hear those numbers, man, here in the state of Arkansas for UAPB to be so high, and the opportunity it gives our student athletes to actually earn money. And we know a lot of times our student athletes may be in different situations where they're not able to get checks from parents every week and things like that, so they're available or able to make their own money in college.
Correct. So the average student athlete, they are full-time students. Right. They are full-time athletes. They are traveling on the road. Most of our athletes, they do not have the time nor an opportunity to work a job like an average student. So this opens the doors for our students to earn additional funding while enrolled at UAPB.
Man, that is fantastic. And,
yes, sir.
And that's going to attract, it's definitely going to attract more people to come to our school as well.
It has been. It has been. Last year when we were signing national letters of intent, we had several parents already reaching out about their students coming to UAPB and what value they bring to UAPB. So it's been a very interesting year. The students more and more are signing up to Influxor, more and more are signing up for that Adidas ambassadorship program. So we're pumped about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward to the future. And if the fans, alumni, supporters, people out there in the community, if they wanted to get involved, or if they want to be a part of NIL for our student athletes, how would they go about doing so?
So any business people within the state or within the country, they can create a profile on No Cap Sports, and they can solicit directly to a student athlete. They can go visit influxormerch.com and choose Arkansas Pine Bluff, and that way they can buy a t-shirt from every single student athlete that is a part of that program. Those funds go directly to our student athletes. And if any business members or supporters want to contact those students individually, they can visit our roster, which has all of their social media handles on there, and they can solicit directly to our student athletes. But we have to know this, it's not pay for play. So every single student that is offered money has to have a job associated with that form of payment.
Okay, can you go a little bit more in depth in that?
So in the past, since the 80s, we've had student athletes that they may work a job, but realistically, they're clocking in, but they're not performing any work duty. So with name, image, likeness, there has to be some form of work for that student athlete to be paid.
And that goes along kind of on the lines with back in the day when they used to just kind of give them money for not doing anything, trying to negate that, huh?
Yes, so we are very strict about following all NCAA and SWAC regulations. So there's no leeway with following those rules and following state regulations. We want to support all of our student athletes that are are seeking name, image, likeness deals, and we want the alumnus, we want business people, we want our supporters to participate. We just have to do it the right way.
Absolutely, and looking forward to it, man. Again, a great opportunity for our student athletes as well as our universities and our partners as well, man. I think it's a win-win for everybody involved.
It most definitely is. We have student athletes that have anywhere from 5,000 all the way up to 30,000 followers on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, well, that is fantastic. Well, Mr. Tucker, I definitely appreciate all that you do for the university, man.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
This is Brian Tucker, the Executive Senior Associate Athletic Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Services here on Inside the Lion's Den. All right, folks, we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll talk to the Deputy Athletics Director and Head UAPB Men's Golf Coach and Coach Roger Totten on Inside the Lion's Den. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ford Trotter for Trotter Ford Lincoln in Pine Bluff. We believe in being tried and true, and that means earning your repeat business by giving you our best customer service and best deals every single time.
Like up to $14,000 off MSRP on the 2019 F-150 Crew Cab. That's right, $14,000 off MSRP.
So come see for yourself. Shop Trotter Ford Lincoln in Pine Bluff and TrotterFord.com today. Tried, true, Trotter.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Flavors of dew. I am thirsty. I must get the dew.
Cut! He's hypnotized again!
Do the dew.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Welcome back to Inside the Lion's Den. Laurel Marbley here, and joining me now we have the Deputy Athletics Director and Head Men's Golf Coach, Coach Roger Totten. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, man, good to be here.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure to see you, man.
Always.
And man, where can I start, man? I mean, historic, man, just making history over and over again in the UAPB men's golf program. And of course, last year, great accomplishments, winning the SWAC Conference Championship, the first in school history, in UAPB history. Advanced to the NCAA tournament in Norman, Oklahoma, which I know you were happy you didn't have to fly last year.
Amen.
But did a great job finishing as the #1 HBCU golf program in the country, Coach. And I know you've had some fantastic guys under you, man, that you've trained and coached, and they've done well. They helped you win 4 out of the 5 Coach of the Year awards, man. And I tell you what, Coach, you guys are rolling.
It's been good. It's been good. Besides that, it's been very good. But you know, the other thing that come with me, I haven't really had time to celebrate.
Right.
Once you finish, you get ready to start trying to do another one.
Yes, sir.
But sometimes my wife tells me, you know, when you make history, you gotta embrace it.
You do.
But I just ain't had time to sit down, maybe when all this is over with.
Right.
I step back and look at it and say, okay, we did something special. But right now, man, it's all about work, it's all about the next tournament, all about getting better.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you guys have been doing that week in and week out, man, tournament after tournament. You guys continue to improve. And Coach, I know you've had your stint coaching football and different things like that. How does this kind of differ in coaching golf and having so much success?
Winning is winning.
Absolutely.
But you know, that's just the same foundation I had in football into golf.
Right.
I ain't seen anything different. It's a totally different sport, but the foundation is the same.
Right.
Discipline, hard work, commitment, sacrifice. That don't change. We got to work sports in. So once I stepped in and took off, the rest of it pretty easy. The work ethic is there, the one is there, is a foundation. And we feel right now we have a great foundation.
Absolutely, Coach, and absolutely do. The job you guys have done, and it helps to have the great athletes that you have, man. You have some heck of golfers, man.
We got some good golfers, without doubt. But I think this year has been a special year for me because we have 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores.
Oh, young squad.
Young team in the conference.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to get graduate students, 5-year kids, but every coach is different.
Yes.
I just don't believe in the poor. I'm an old school guy. I believe in embracing them, bring them in young and teach them and embrace them.
Right.
When you go into the poor, you don't get that.
Right.
You get different things, different attitudes. You do a whole lot of teaching, the coaching.
Right.
Personal attitude, but when you recruit a kid, young, he don't know.
That's right.
He gonna do, you've been there,
Right.
I've been there.
Right.
So when we get to be a senior, junior, you expect to win.
Yes, sir.
Because he
Yes, sir.
had your ingredient foundation in him. And I don't have no problem with the poor. A lot of coaches do it. I just choose not to do it because the way I raised Bob, you raise a child.
Yeah.
You can't raise a grown child.
That's true.
So
That's true.
and I said that same for life in the coach.
Absolutely. And you said it, Coach. I mean, you get guys out of the portal, they're already kind of set in their ways. I mean,
Exactly.
you can coach a younger kid easier than a guy that already has things set, the way they like to do things. It's hard to change them and things like that. But I tell you what, Coach, looking at some of y'all's accomplishments, you couldn't tell that you had a young team. This year, 2023-24 season, picked up 4 key pieces, didn't miss a beat, winning back-to-back SWAC Fall Invitationals this year, captured a second consecutive trophy within 5 days of each other. And Coach, a lot of people don't realize how hard that is to do, man, including winning the 2023 Bridgestone HBCU Classic last week. And we talked a little bit about that off the air. That's probably the biggest HBCU golf tournament this semester, this year.
Without doubt, what happened is PJ Tour and Bridgestone came together going to fund HBCU colleges. And they went and picked the top colleges in the country.
I like that. Talk about top colleges include UAPB. I love it.
And we were one of 7.
Okay.
Florida A&M, Alabama State, North Carolina, Tennessee State, all these powerhouse schools.
Right.
They got a whole lot more than we used to think. But at the end of the day, we walked away with the trophy. Not that we haven't left, because we beat them up.
Right.
And go back to again, we talked about your kids. No kid from the portal.
Right.
No transfer kid. Your own kids.
Yeah.
And I think that was our success is coming from. I'm an old school guy.
Yes, sir.
And I believe in that. I believe you got to raise your kids the way you want them to go.
That's right.
We have get somewhere else, raise some other kids, it's not always the same.
That's right.
And,
That's true.
Sports is just like life.
It is.
Same way you raise your own kids, raise your own home, you say that same for life into sports.
Absolutely.
And that's been our success. Without a doubt, that's been our success, and we're going to stick with it.
Absolutely, Coach. And it does something else for the kids when they see that you actually care for them, and you love those kids like they were your own, and you're trying to put them in the best possible positions to be successful as far as on the golf course as well as in the classroom. So those kids know that, and they can tell when a coach is genuine.
Without a doubt, and coaches again, I know it sounds really young, but old school guys, you go by what you was taught.
That's right.
And how you were raised. And when you kept a kid with a passion.
Yes, sir.
And coaching is a job that I don't take for lightly. Because you have total control of young men's lives.
That's right. That's right.
Or young women like whoever you're coaching. Right. And you can mold that kid any way you want to mold them. And it's a great responsibility for any coach to take on the job as a coach. And I take it very seriously.
Absolutely, Coach. Absolutely. And you guys winning the Bridgestone Invitational afforded you another opportunity where you guys will be invited to a major tournament coming up in the spring.
Without doubt, we're invited to San Francisco, California.
Wow.
In March.
Okay.
Where we'll be going against top schools throughout the nation. Alabama, I think Arkansas is going to be there.
Wow.
UCLA, all those schools, they really show that some of the things that we show that we do not have. But by winning this tournament, it shows that we can be on that platform.
That's right. That's right.
We got a good lesson last year when we went to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, right.
Yeah, and golf is no but sky the limit.
Absolutely.
At UAPB in all our sports. We was talking about golf, but without no Coach Howell earlier.
Right.
He gonna get it
Yes, sir.
together.
We're gonna get there. That's
He's gonna
right.
get it together. And we can win at UAPB.
Absolutely.
In all sports, and we're gonna do that. And so I'm very proud of where we are, where I live. Couldn't I say enough about A.J. Robinson, putting a staff together throughout athletics that everybody gonna be very proud of.
Absolutely. Right. And we already are, Coach. Yeah. We already are, and definitely going to support all our coaches throughout. Yeah. And again, all our coaches do a fantastic job, including you. And Coach, doing all that winning and grabbing that attention, that national attention, as you mentioned, we went to Oklahoma last year, headed to California. I mean, that also puts a spotlight on our program and an opportunity for sponsorships and different partnerships that want to join in, because everybody loves a winner, Coach.
Without doubt. And then that's amazing the game. I feel that one of the players that we got, the PJ Tour will be on camera on Thursday.
Right.
They're going to come on camera and I do a show on our golf program. They're going to walk around on camera with their film, following kids in class and interview people on camera. That's national attention.
Yes, sir.
That's national exposure.
Yes,
They're coming to the university in the city of Pine Bluff.
Right.
So, but that was sport does to a town.
That's right.
A campus when you're having success. You're going to get that national attention, exposure. We're talking about the PGA Tour. We're talking about professional golfers. Some of us ain't never heard of Pine Bluff.
Right.
Until now.
That's right.
So we're very excited about that.
Yes, sir. PGA headed to UAPB. I just love the sound of that. They'll be on
Sound
campus.
Good, though.
Yes, sir. They'll be on campus this Thursday for the branded content is what they're calling it, branded content, and get some footage and different things, man. I just think that is fantastic. And again, another great opportunity to showcase our university.
Without doubt. And out there in February, we've been invited to Jacksonville, Florida, to a camp as well. All this comes with just by winning the Bridgestone. And that, again, that's national exposure for the university.
Yes, sir.
And that's one thing we're very proud about. Because once you talk about the golf team, I'm talking about golf team, talking about the campus in the city of Pine Bluff.
Right, absolutely.
So we're very excited.
Yes, sir. Jacksonville, Florida in February. And Coach, from my understanding, you guys just recently opened an indoor golf facility.
We're only 2 schools that has one.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an indoor facility on campus, and it's amazing.
And where's it located, Coach?
It's located in Hyper.
Okay, in the Hyper Complex.
The people come out and all the people in the city talking about golf. We're in the future, no excuse. We're going to show everybody how to play golf. Free lesson.
That's right. There we go.
Yeah, we have one come. We're very proud of it.
Absolutely. So now I hadn't had a chance to visit that as well. I can't wait to get over there to see it as well. And just in the nick of time, as PGA will be on campus, so they'll get opportunity to view it as well. And Coach, of course, we all support you, but if people in the community or different sponsors want to be involved or want to support you guys, how would they go about doing so?
The contact that lady department, start with A.D. Robinson.
Okay.
When we get there, he'll put it down to us and we'll go with it from there.
Okay.
But start with A.D. Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just contact the UAPB Athletics Department.
Exactly.
And they can get in contact with the right people.
Exactly.
And Coach, what's up next for UAPB golf program?
We're going to take a small break.
Okay.
For holidays, and we're going to come back in January and get ready for the final season, our final semester. We have some very big tournaments in New Orleans this year.
Okay.
Another venue that hold a professional golf tournament.
Oh, wow.
So next semester we'll be playing in 3 venues that hold professional golf.
Oh, wow.
So again, this all comes with being successful in golf. And one thing that happened the last couple of years, everyone getting involved in APCU. We got what sport it is. It's well overdue.
Yeah,
well
it is.
overdue.
It is.
Same thing with football, basketball program. They're getting involved a major sponsor getting involved because we're here.
Absolutely.
We're unknown treasure. All I want to do is I want to take a chance on it.
That's right.
And that's why I take the game of golf so very seriously, because if we do well, open the door for another HBCU.
Absolutely.
Open the door for another school. But so we got to do well.
Absolutely.
And we got to represent the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
And you guys have. You guys have done very well.
We're working at it. Really have.
And looking forward to much, much more. And as you mentioned, a lot of people getting involved with HBCUs here in the past few years. And it speaks volumes for UAPB as well. You know, everybody looks at the major sports, the football, the basketballs, the baseball, softball. But when you can be successful in your and I don't like calling that, but they call them the non-revenue sports. But when you're successful in those sports, I mean, that does something for your campus as well as help your major sports as well.
You know, in that case, everybody want to win.
That's right.
Everybody want to I had several coaches come by and say, Coach, what are you doing?
What's your
what
secret?
are you doing? And that's, and speaking of that, I've been a football coach.
Right.
So I've been on this top level, and I know how we look at small sports and what the case may be. But we never looked at it like that because we always won.
That's right.
When we win, we all win.
That's right.
Because what the sport is, and that was just more for Coach Hampton, for Coach Solo, Coach Don Thornton, all the sports. Because when one sport win, we all win.
I love it.
Because in the trophy we receive is just swag. It don't say Rogers College.
Right.
It says University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
That's right.
And that's everybody.
That's right.
Alumni and everybody. So we're very excited.
Absolutely. I'm excited for you, Coach.
Appreciate you, man.
I couldn't put it any better, man. I couldn't put it any better. Coach
Thank
Roger Titan, head golf coach, and congratulations on all your success,
again.
man, and more success heading forward.
Thank you very much.
Again, that's Coach, head coach and the Deputy Athletics Director, Coach Roger Titan. Well, folks, we definitely appreciate you tuning in this week for Inside the Lions Den. And, of course, want to thank all of our guests today, head football coach Alonzo Hampton, and, of course, the Executive Senior Athletic Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Services, and Mr. Broderick Tucker, and head coach of golf and Deputy Athletics Director, Coach Roger Titan. Well, folks, that's the end of today's show. Again, we appreciate you tuning in. Join us the next time on Inside the Lions Den. I'm LaRon Marbley. Good night, everybody.
Yeah!